Nice job.
Okay, after all that work, why don't you start?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll get it eventually. Thank you for the help.
Great job. We made it through the day.
Not over yet.
Were there any corrections to the minutes from last month?
Actually, I didn't even put out the minutes.
Yeah, I didn't notice them,
But our
but
meeting
I
was,
didn't have any corrections for the.
but our meeting only lasted 38 minutes last
Yeah,
month,
it's a
so
nice
it was a
quick
really
one.
quick one.
Yeah,
And
we
I
were all
don't really
excited
have any
about it.
notes other than what the agenda had on it, so I think it's just. Okay, awesome. I will get those out.
There's no public besides Chris, right? Chris, do you feel like saying anything in the privilege of the floor, or are you hunky dory?
I am fine for now. I'm good.
You're welcome to chat anytime you want.
I
Chris.
will. All right. Thanks.
Review of the financial reports. So most of the negatives that I saw on here were reflected in the resolution this month, the budget transfer authorizations, but there were a couple that were not. The first one was, where is it? I think it was the planners, personal services, was that the one?
So there were some, either salary lines or employee benefit lines, which would be your 0.1s or your 0.8s. And I did, discuss with Lindsay about those, and she stated it would be best to just do one transfer at the end of the year.
End of the year when it's, we know what it is, okay.
Yep.
So that's the plan of personal services was one of those, and then New York State retirement, does that fall in that world too?
Yep.
then? Okay. And then the other two were highway, welcome Jen.
Which I also discussed with Jen, and again, it's better to just, now that we're only 1 month away, we're just gonna wait till the end of the year.
Okay.
Because in both cases, they'll probably have other budget lines in their departments that they will be able to move money from, but until all the expenditures are posted.
My only concern is that, every time we do that comptrollers training, they say, don't ever let anything go negative ever, because everyone who let it go negative is personally responsible for that amount in the negative, so that's one of the reasons why I'm always bringing it up, because it's generally a practice that they really don't want us to have,
Right.
be in the negative.
In a lot of cases, technically, especially the salary lines, there's actually sub accounts and not
Yeah.
actual account, so the account as a whole, so like your 0.8 line is not negative, but your sub account 0.82 may be negative, so. I mean, I think that kind of covers you.
Probably covered this because the overall salaries are still good,
Mhm.
but when you break it down into the tiny little details.
The one that I did have a question about though, Jim, was actually the, it's DA 5130-400 machinery contractual.
Yep.
That one was, that was pretty significant in the negative at 21. What was that, just an unexpected expense on something, or?
We had bought a new motor for one of the pickups this year.
Okay, so
That
that's what that was.
That was 10,000 alone right there, repair. We had suspension repairs on one of the trucks, tires. We had 2 hydraulic motors, go bad. It's larger than anticipated expenses on the maintenance of our equipment.
Okay.
Would
yeah.
you, do you think that that has anything to do with either more cost of, products going up, or maybe we're not replacing things as quickly as we had
Both.
planned? Okay.
Yes, it's definitely both.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but the board's made an effort this year to start making that change, so.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take a few years, but it's gonna get there.
We'll get there.
And we're comfortable with where it is for next year, a little.
Yeah,
maybe a
I've
little
always
better
been
adjustment.
decent with that number.
It's always, there's always gonna be.
Anticipated expenses. Budget for a new motor we replace.
Fully understand, I just like to have, since these are available to the public too, I like to have an explanation so people hear what's going on and see that you're spending on a broken motor
Right.
instead of, Jim's fabulous office furniture or
many
whatever.
hours?
Which you can also spend it on if you want
From
to.
And also, we do have in a highway equipment reserve fund, you know,
Exactly.
like
One time,
if push came to
just
shove,
about
we
the
were.
spun the main bearing.
Yeah, we can pull it from there too.
So it wasn't it wasn't like blow up, it spun the main bearing, and it just took out, you know,
I'll ask the
That's really
same,
not a lot of.
no, but most, we don't have that problem. It just.
Yeah.
That would be that motor that just went south.
we did?
Yeah. that's right.
I'll ask just a similar question, I'm kind of jumping ahead here to the budget authorizations, transfer authorizations, the unallocated insurance increase, was that, do we know why that went up?
It's a result of us taking possession of Motion Junction and
Okay.
also, you know,
We
we have
have-
an increase in number of vehicles owned also.
And as our insurance person shared, because we have a couple obligations still on our books that have not been resolved yet by the courts.
Got it.
Nobody would bid us, so we're kind of stuck with whoever will cover, who we have for coverage. So we've got a significant amount sitting there still waiting for court on the show.
Well, we did to digress with you, but I did get email today from our insurance company. About one of the claims that's hopefully going to be solved and finished in February.
Awesome.
I don't know if Chris got the same.
Which
email.
one was that, Jim?
It was Morse. It
Oh,
was-
yeah, that one's pretty old. Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully in February they finish it, so we'll see.
And then those clear out, we should be more competitive.
Yeah, that'll be good. When do we usually bid out the insurance?
We go out every year.
I know we do every
Yeah,
year,
it
but is
should
it like
be,
February that we do
Chris
it?
probably know, but I would say.
April.
Springtime.
It's springtime.
That's what I
usually comes
thought.
to you guys in March, and then April, you guys.
Oh, the insurance renews on April 1st.
April 1st, okay. that's what I- Okay, again, with the budget transfer authorizations, what was the town board contractual, why did we go?
We actually had,
Was it training?
more training costs than, had been budgeted for.
Okay, cool. And then the storm sewers contractual,
That's just an increase in, MS4
The
engineering
MS4.
cost increase.
all right, cool, I just wanted to make sure everybody. Did anybody have any other questions on the budget transfers or on the financial reports at all? I did want to bring up, this wasn't on. We're probably gonna have another nice short meeting today, but this wasn't on the agenda, but I wanted to draw everybody's attention to it since this is kind of my swan song meeting as the finance chair. The fund balance report, I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware, due to some great investing and also some different allocations with town boards before us, the open space reserve fund is at $1.4 million. So, we should start figuring out how to use that. We can't use that for improving parkland is my understanding, unless somebody's aware of something I'm not aware of. But anytime we can use that for any purchase of land, purchase of, the conservation easements, we could be using the open space reserve fund. We could probably be using it for some of your stormwater projects potentially even, if we're, but we need to, that's 1.4 million, which lucky us just keeps growing. I think it was 1.1 when I came on the board. So that's a spot where we need to start thinking about open space that we can be preserving in different ways in the town.
Are we
So,
continuing to allocate money to that reserve? Do you know that?
No.
it doesn't have anything that they,
That's
It's just
before,
interest.
Okay.
before I came on the board, it was a common thing with the extra funds that they would put it into the open space reserve. But that we've put more towards
Yeah, it was
highways,
1.5
since
million.
then, so.
Did
You got
we finish the purchase of that land next to one on the Oakland?
Yes,
Is that done? Okay.
yes.
So that money, yeah, and that money will get reimbursed. Well, actually, we didn't finish it. The guy from needs an environmental study still. He said that he has 3 feet of lake effect snow, so he's not gonna come up and meet me up there tomorrow for some reason. I don't think he's dedicated, but that's fine.
I
So,
asked, I didn't know some of that money was coming
No.
out of there, yet still it was.
No,
Yeah,
we
that's-
cut the
that's what I'm
check,
saying.
we cut
take
the,
money out for,
We did for,
part of that for purchase of the.
we did for those
Like
20
that there.
acres we added up there, yeah,
Yeah.
we did for that, but that's what
well,
I'm
we'll
saying.
get
it's-
reimbursed,
it's a
we'll get
lot.
reimbursed for that as well, because
Did we invest?
295, and we'll get that, and we'll get most of that back.
Yeah.
Because of the water quality grant.
And the 295, none of it is in what's allocated now?
It's not, it's not reserved, it's not, reflected here. what
So
that's-
it's another 300,000 and that's
Yeah.
1.6.
So that, we also have, RSM. I'll be bringing forward, permission to get an appraisal. We have a quote to get an appraisal on that, look, just that lower, the upper hilltop area. Which
How much
won't
was
be a
that?
huge number
How much was the appraisal, you remember?
for RSM.
Yeah.
Well, that whole one,
No, for what we're gonna do. What
we
was-
didn't get that separate. I don't,
We didn't get a separate number?
no. We don't, not when we did it a few years ago. We never
Do
got
we
the
need to have
separate
this
number.
conversation in the executive session?
Yeah,
or are we
Oh,
good?
well, I mean, it's. Yeah, I think
I'm
we're
just
good.
making, I'm just reminding, so.
Yeah, I think we're good.
We haven't gonna have it in the assessment.
Guided it before.
So the revenue was just interest.
Yeah, it's interest coming in on it, yeah, so that's, I mean, that, I just wanna make sure everybody was paying attention to that, because, I mean, you could think about. You know, conservation easements is the first thing I think about, I know we have a conservation easement team that has been kind of. You know, a little bit backburnery because Sarah's been very overwhelmed with work, I think, and she runs that conservation easement team, but. You know, I think we need to start thinking about more conservation easements or. Other, you know, land, open space land that we wanna preserve. If somebody's coming to us with some property that's would work well as open space, we should be thinking about it, cause. That is dedicated and it's just gonna keep growing to, it's probably gonna be 1.5 million the next time you get a, you know, one of these fund balance reports, so. So that's something that we need to think about, and be doing, I mean, we can't. I mean, we can confirm that we can't use it for improvements, it's my understanding that we can't, because if we could, I mean, boom, there's a Nanda right there, you know, like, so, but. But that's, it needs to be paid attention to and it should be used, and, cause it's been hanging out there since I've got on the board pretty much, so. We spent a little bit of it, but we have a lot more to go,
Sarah and I just met with the land trust yesterday. And they're working on some trail
mhm,
connection, so we were talking about that, there's two options there, and they're gonna be touching base with some. of Those residents of property
mhm.
or,
Could use it for, I don't think we could use it for creating trails, we could use it for purchasing.
But we
Well,
subdivided
it's-
the land, so the trail went through the middle.
think
and we
it's-
paid for
I
the-
think they're
Yeah,
creating,
that sort of stuff,
I
yeah.
think they're creating the trail, aren't they? And we're just taking the properties for them to create the trail, or taking the easements for them to create the trail.
Yeah, I mean, they
All
could
the
be used for
trail,
easements
too.
for sure.
I mean, there's waiting on some money for that.
Connecting to,
It's all something you could use for purchasing land.
Yeah.
Easements, open space. You know, we don't have any parks on the northern side of town either. If there's ever an opportunity for a park on the north side of town, that's probably an option to think about, but I just want, it's a
Eat 'em
big chunk of money. I just want to make sure
I'll
everybody's
slide
aware of
those
it.
closer to John.
And we do now have,
No, I'm not eating that crap.
There's 3 more boxes out in the break room.
we do now have, over 700,000 in the CM fund as well, which can be used for park improvements. So that one, I think we're gonna probably use most of that for the Oneida Uplands, so. But both of those funds are doing just hunky dory and need to have somebody spending them out, so. Wanted to bring them up, so is this the only finance related resolution we've got then on the agenda, so for this month? Okay, so. That's all I've got on that, investment updates, I'm not sure if who was gonna talk about investment.
Oh,
updates.
we're just continuing to, process through the recommendations that 3+1 had given us with moving funds around, so they. You know, we now have, 4 million, in 18-month CDs.
What are they paying?
512, I believe. And then, we'll have some of our smaller accounts will be transferred into, Muni Trust or NICLAS, so that, because those are more liquid accounts, those gain more than savings, but that's a little bit of work in progress. We have to set up new accounts and in code, and then there's gonna be a lot of movement and, you know. On my side of things, will be a lot of journal entries, moving money back and forth every month, so. I'm working.
Now, aren't we supposed to get like a report or something from 3+1 at the end of the year, talking about what they?
They'll give an annual report. We meet with them,
Quarterly, right?
yeah, and they'll give a report as far as what. The increases, they give us a whole scorecard,
Okay,
like a report card, you want to get the best percentage. So it's basically diversification
Right.
and hedging against the market volatility. So we get a report card, but then they'll also give us a report of our earnings for the year.
it might be nice if we can have them come in then for, you guys don't wanna do a January finance committee meeting, right, just February?
Right,
So maybe you could schedule them to come in for the February finance committee meeting, they should
Yeah.
probably have that wrapped up by then. And then that would be a more public opportunity for people to see what's going on with that too, so that would be. That would be good for them. And then I think we just got, so I was just saying, you don't plan to do a January finance committee meeting, correct?
right, because we're having the 2 town board meetings, there won't be much. In the way of finance, other than finance related resolutions, but if we're doing a agenda review meetings. All that I really can see happening are, the pretty standard budget transfer resolutions, resolutions to encumber, funds from 24 to 25 for like POs that have not been completed yet. So probably nothing out of the ordinary. There's enough going on, so.
So February 13th, is that the?
I believe, I was, I had actually put out, I don't send it to Crystal Lynch so she could publish it, but. I would like to have the meeting, so my understanding is the town board meeting, we're gonna reduce to once a
We're
month.
going back to once a
and
month,
then On the
third.
third Monday. So I'd like to have the finance meeting on the first Thursday of the month, which will keep it the day before the agenda cutoff, so. I can present to the finance committee resolutions that will be on the agenda. And we have chance, you know, a day or so to, you know, tweak the resolution should they need to be before they're actually part of the agenda.
February 6th is the day
Sixth.
you have.
Okay. That would be the first.
And remember February,
Oh, yes.
because the Mondays are gifts that keep on giving, the February board meeting is not the third Monday because of President's Day.
24th,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't
Yeah.
adjust it because of that, because I didn't realize that when I gave Crystal in the schedules.
I think it probably makes sense to have it on the early one anyway, because you won't be having a January meeting,
Yeah.
so pushing it even later, I mean, it'll just.
It'll
give
be
you more
good
time
to
do
kind of,
that.
I would be able to give a information, a little 30,000 feet overview of where we ended up with our expenditures for the year, so.
And February is often when we usually start to chat about where the balances are
Yeah.
in those fund reports. So it'd be nice to, you know, work up your own design instead of the one that we've been sort of piggybacking on with Doug's old presentation that he made, but.
Right.
But it'd be nice to have that so that we can start thinking about when we figure out what excess sales tax, if there is excess sales tax
Oh, there
and excess
should be.
funds, where we can toss them into. It's not the open space reserve fund, I highly recommend for next year, just to see, you know, what fun little projects Jim can take on, for example, so that would be good. So yeah, maybe if we can figure that out for then, and maybe
Yeah.
if you can get it out a little before it, so people have an opportunity to get familiar with the information. You know, just whenever you put out the.
It'll be
agenda,
close,
but
but yeah. Yeah, I should.
I know you're never busy at all at your.
Well, just
such
because
an easy
we
time
pay bills
for you.
through the end of January, but.
So we confirm then it's gonna be the first Thursday of every
Correct.
month.
And you guys are
Same
doing
time?
3 P.M.
Yeah, 3 P.M.
3 P.M. on February 6th, okay.
Could we discuss that time again?
Okay,
3 P.M. is Dave takes naps every
I know.
day. It's all three.
Into my nap times and everything. So.
Chris,
So-
you're the one that has the issue, I guess, so. Is there any way it could be sometime in the morning?
Is that still, the other meeting you have, is that still the first Thursday of the month?
No, it's the second Thursday of the month.
So maybe,
So-
so you're saying there's a chance?
So the first Thursdays are fine, actually.
So 9 o'clock.
So you wanna do it at 2:30 instead, Terry? Does that work better?
2:50.
But just not, I know,
I'd have to get them in the morning.
just not 3, I hear you.
You know, like mid-morning, you gotta get your eyes open and
What's,
your own, you gotta take care of your own business.
what's your
first.
availability mornings, Chris?
I'm pretty flexible. I mean, other than just my other committee meetings and then Thursdays lunch, I'm out. So,
Chris will be done by like 11:15 probably, so
Mhm.
I would say no later than 10, probably 9 is better.
9:30.
Yeah.
that's fine.
9 or 9:30, I heard a 9:30 there.
That's between 9 and 10, that's in the middle. I know you didn't teach math, but you know.
I know.
All right, I'm gonna say 9 as my last chair.
That's good.
I'm gonna put you guys at 9 PM or
9.
9 AM rather.
Okay, perfect.
9 AM, February 6th.
Love it, so I will update Crystalline so she can make, because she's trying to keep on top of. Oh, Crystalline, hi. Did you catch that?
Guess what? A change.
Crystal's like, great.
So she's working on her press release for the
You don't
meetings for
sugar
next
them
year.
in stone.
Yeah.
Finance likes to move around a little bit.
And I just, created the Zoom link and
You
everything,
can just.
but I'll edit the time.
Nine, so
Good, so
February
you know
6th
how.
at 9.
I can do that.
Okay, awesome.
I actually figured out how to cancel the meetings, the series, and then only bring back one meeting that I needed for today.
Don't
That's
worry,
very
finance is gonna be one of the first that gets pulled on into Civic Plus.
Oh, it's gonna be pulled.
Yeah.
Because of all the paper. all the
Probably not a
reports
good
and
idea.
everything. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Speaking of paperwork and reports, do we have any update on the North Road funding or what we're, is there, when we're gonna start the borrowing process for that or?
There's a bond resolution on Mondays.
For this-
There is
for
on
this,
Mondays,
yeah,
okay, so.
Yep.
Okay, cool, so,
We're moving.
so we know, we nailed down pretty much exactly what it's gonna be with them at this point, yeah.
I mean, we're budgeting 6.2.
I mean, we won't know until it goes out to
If it
bid.
goes out to bid,
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't go over,
Mhm.
then we have to go back out to rebond for a higher amount.
My old boss used to say, hope is not a strategy.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong.
The good news is Farmington just had to do another ban for the water tank. And the rates were better than they anticipated.
That's good.
So those rates have been better. So maybe fingers crossed, by the time we close it out,
Rates will be better.
Rates will be
More
pretty
money,
good.
Right.
New sheriff in town.
new sheriff in town,
But we
hopefully new rates will drop.
So we can't
Rest of the
adjust
year?
the rate that we're
Well,
taxing at
I
though,
should've said
if it does come back
Yeah.
lower.
Well, in the
No,
What
future,
happens with that? So,
next year,
yeah.
next year after.
Adjust it.
You're gonna have a ban for a minimum of probably, you might go 2 years on ban.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you on bond.
yeah,
yeah, so
The
we,
interest for 2 years.
and that's short-term higher, but it's
Mhm.
once, but as soon as, yeah, so we won't have that locked-in amount.
until.
Yeah, we're still way ahead of, the game on that.
Okay,
And then we just adjust annually. If it comes
Basically,
back lower and then we are in
Pull
a
it
better
back.
position, then that gets pulled back and we don't need to float that amount financially every year to pay off that debt.
so not to stomp on Terry's toes for tomorrow, but what are we talking about? Maybe breaking ground this summer on North Road or no?
Well, that's our goal.
We are, okay, good.
Jared has worked with the school. It's a
Yeah.
large group. Construction.
We're gonna have a room,
Meeting.
we need to set
Public
tomorrow,
hearing.
we need to set a date for a public informational meeting.
Okay, good.
Go on the website, show them the information that MRB's put together, love to have a handout. If the weather cooperates, my plan is to hit all the doors there and invite them, so we'll get it out there. But then just hit, and if they're not there, just leave something on their door, tape it to their door, so everybody has a paper copy of that as well.
And you're gonna do this meeting in the evening.
Yeah.
3, we're gonna do it at 3. if that works.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like,
No, I mean, to get that straight. Yeah. it's-
It'll be at like a 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
7 o'clock meeting,
perfect.
yeah.
And it'd be nice if we could deliver those North Road residents even more information about their backyards at that meeting.
Yeah, that's
That would
probably,
be
that's
nice.
gonna be, yeah, that requires that requires.
Yeah,
The Senate, the Assembly to get involved in the act.
oh, does it as well? Okay.
If we were to, when we bring those properties in, which. The city has agreed to for today,
so their backyards are in one.
so they're all in the town and not split, but. That's a longer process because that requires annexation, which requires leave.
Did they just say yes, or did you have to go and coerce them
Well,
somehow?
it was part of the discussion about the water tank and the other parcels that we have.
So as long as we played nice in the sandbox.
Yeah, I'd like to get it memorialized before we discuss the fire.
Good idea.
I did hear that they wanna hire.
Excellent
I
idea.
believe this is being recorded.
Nobody watches these.
It's fine.
Except those fire guys might be.
They might be watching now. So yes, they agreed, and that was part of the discussion I had with John about, let's clean everything up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll be a wash financially, pretty
Mhm.
much. It'll be within a couple grand, one way or the other. So let's just clean it up. But that takes time. So that'll be step 2. We can do our properties first, tax decisions, but that city property, it's a little harder to annex part of another municipality. New York makes that a little slower.
Mhm.
They don't like it happening like that. They don't want it happening like. Over
I mean, it's
Oh,
all
yeah,
one,
right.
we're all Canandaigua, we're not changing the name, it's just Canandaigua. Has anybody else said anything?
I actually had a couple more things I just wanted to bring up quick, and I didn't think of them until, or come across them. Talking about it until after the agenda went out. We have 2 capital projects that are currently in the negative. We've got our, July flooding, which. So we pretty much have expensed engineering costs and the, repairs to, Outhouse Park. Have been tracked in that, capital project. I don't really think it's a great idea to leave that negative. I don't know that we're allowed to do that.
How negative is it?
30,000?
Most of that from the repair of the bathroom?
I have 35,000 for parks and 96,000 for engineering costs. Because the engineering also,
Understand,
It's
engineering
for-
will get reimbursed back to us for all our HH studies, what we do for each call.
right,
We always love
I know.
hearing things
Um,
like, you did something that cost $3,000 for the engineering for it.
with a lot of like storm mitigation.
Yeah.
Engineering, I mean, I get it, in this instance, it actually doesn't bother me, 'cause but,
So,
but I would like to know if, what the feeling is if we were to take money from the CM fund and put it in there with the understanding that money that gets reimbursed for these particular expenses, if we are reimbursed for them, then that money would then go back to the CM fund.
I would rather it came from the general fund, than the CM fund, cause I could see something like that getting lost. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, a lot of times we're like, oh, we'll just do that, I don't know if that's gonna be paper traily enough, as
Okay.
opposed to, if it was just from the general, then it goes back to the general, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Whenever FEMA decides to
Right.
show up.
we've
And
got.
we won't get reimbursed for the
We've
35,000.
we've got.
We have.
80-ish thousand.
I think it's more than that now,
Okay.
because I think we got 30 some and now we just got another
It trickles
80.
in, that's
But
really
the thing, so when Jim had suggested the most recent reimbursement we received, my thing, I just don't know if because those funds were paid out of highway. Those expenditures were paid out of highway.
What was
And
paid out
he's-
that way?
So
Engineering and
we have received some reimbursement
Mm-hmm.
from FEMA. But Jim has been the one who has paid those costs. the highway department has
Out of
paid those
DA
costs.
lines, okay.
So I don't know that I can allocate those FEMA reimbursement monies to the capital project because it's money that the DA fund spent. It's not money that was trapped in this capital project. It's not engineering costs that are trapped here or parks costs that are trapped here. So that's why I don't think that I can. do that. But
So what are you saying?
that we would
Reverse
have
out of
to-
the general fund,
Yeah,
there's some
we could
fund,
do
yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah. Yes, we can do that.
I'd rather see it, I'd also rather see it out of general fund because CM fund is for improvements per se and, you know,
Okay.
repairs to existing structures. It's not necessarily what's meant to be if they're
Right.
massive federal disaster, you know what I mean? So,
Can you take money out of the, or the CM fund? I mean, legitimately you could for this, because it is capital money that's being spent, but can you put it back in? Usually the one way trip.
But we can with the
Because the
general,
source
we can
of
with the
money-
general, that's what I'm.
Right.
The source of revenue for that is, you know, our
Yeah.
fees,
What is the,
so.
right,
We've allocated before when we've had, when we've had excess funds, no, but I
We
think
put in.
we've put in when we've had excess
But
funds this
This
year.
is, this is an in and out of the same
Yeah,
right,
$100, and
yeah,
does that trigger some kind of
I don't believe
negative
so,
response by whoever looks at it?
as long as the expenses. I mean, basically what you'd be doing is you're allocating for, as long as it's an eligible expense.
I just would rather
The
see it
general
come out
fund.
of the general.
Okay.
Personally. I mean, I
So-
don't know if anybody agrees with me, but
I agree, it seems simpler that we don't have to worry about.
yeah,
other questions
I
that we're
worry,
dealing
you know what I mean? I just worry that it'll get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
And then that's,
Well, I think we
Penalize
have
the CM
capable
fund.
people in our.
Yeah.
teams to
we do.
We track it, make sure that it's all.
Sure, absolutely. The other project is our outhouse park.
Okay. You mean the
Motion-
Park or Motion
Junction?
Junction? Motion Junction.
Sorry, cause I believe we're through phase 2 at this point, according to how the plan was laid out 3 years ago.
What's our obligation there?
So we are, $150,000 behind.
So that can come out of the CM then.
And then,
Let's take
and
that
then,
out, that can come out of the CM, because that's park improvements, that's new park.
I mean, I wasn't around at the inception of this, project, but I guess. From what I can tell from the resolution that had been written, it sounds like there
It
was
was
just,
messy. It was very messy.
we didn't get it,
No.
all the funding that was initially laid out, right? So that's where the
We've had to
deficit.
we've had to fill in a lot of gaps. but
Okay. Alright, I just wanna make sure I wasn't missing something and that wasn't supposed to already come in somewhere.
Just
Was that
ballpark, how many,
diplomatic?
how big are those gaps that we filled in?
For
Half a
Motion
million?
Junction,
Yeah,
1.150.
What?
150,000.
It's a lot.
Because you didn't charge off your
That's what I'm-
expenses.
Interesting to know
need
that.
to know that, I was curious,
Yeah.
people say, hey, we love Ocean Junction, we
These
love
are
it, we love it, right,
the
but
expenses that I
costs us
can
1.5
see.
million.
Yeah, the expenses that I see are expenses that were turned in through engineering or parks. Jim's highways departmental expenses were not calculated. in
Right,
this.
right, no, I was
Jim's
aware of that.
employees enjoy playing in the park.
Because it's-
Donated
Yeah.
services.
It's,
Per se.
Is what it is.
between all that.
So
we're-
I'm hoping
we're
I'll
multiple
try to put
digits.
this,
yeah,
you know, I'll probably, I'll write a resolution to have the earlier January meeting so we can get this figured out and then, we'll, there'll be a few bucks left in there, but I think we're gonna be laying low on any future.
So are we done with
Improvements
that?
there.
Is this 150 the end of it, or?
yeah.
Well,
So this
Unless we
would-
decide to do the other phases.
Right,
yeah.
no, that's totally different,
yeah,
right, right.
so
But
that's
we're
what,
out, we're paid out.
Yes.
Probably.
You're a buck, you're going.
It's a
Lindsay
probably.
was,
Chris, you know, Nick or Chris, you're not. There's some sort of, I don't wanna say lawsuit. Discrepancy with the,
Are we gonna have to pay the debts that are outstanding?
Oh.
well, no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the actual flooring, the,
The surface.
Oh, the
The
surface,
surface.
right, there's an issue with the surface and it's
I
not
think
holding up.
Nadler's spoke to,
Mhm.
I don't know.
So are we gonna have to redo the surface is your question?
Well,
our dime.
and I think
I don't know, yeah,
where things are at the moment, though, it sounds to me like Lindsay is, oh, I say 5 people's name, not Lindsay, Parks. The Parks Department is taking over expenses for that. What is there existing?
but I think there was,
Yeah, there's an issue with the.
there's an
service.
issue with the
Standing
surface
lawsuit.
that isn't working correctly, the company put it in, it's no longer in business,
Oh.
and.
What do
I don't wanna confuse you guys, I just know there's something that needs to be spoken.
Something just
about.
ain't right.
Right, okay, I don't wanna say something that's incorrect, so just,
Right.
there's something there that potentially could be a
Could show up
cause,
again.
right,
Okay.
that's what I'm
So-
saying.
So we're saying don't close it out yet.
I wasn't,
No,
I
but
wasn't
no,
gonna
I
close the
think-
project, I was gonna leave it open.
Yeah, I don't think we should ever close it out.
Because
anytime.
there were other phases that were outlined in the original resolution, so. I'll leave it there, I just wanna get it up to snuff. Through phase 2.
That also brought up another point, which I talked about before, but I don't want it to get, speaking of stuff not getting lost. Did we ever fix the Uptown, fund that's kind of like the CM fund that was set up where if somebody's building in Uptown, they're gonna pay $1,500 and it was just gonna be towards Uptown parks? We need to fix that.
Yeah, we need to go back to
ASAP.
and change in that, yeah.
So that's, don't lose that, please, after I'm gone, because otherwise you're gonna have all this money going to Uptown parks that are basically gonna be fixed by Uptown Landing, so. All you folks who are still here, somebody keep track of that for me. Make sure that you don't have another fund building that with nowhere to spend it, so. But
So it's the fee schedule.
I don't recall it being the same as Kevin's just articulating. I think that fund was set up to benefit all parks. I don't think we differentiated Upland Parks from other town parks.
there's two different ones, so we haven't
That-
had any
because we
of them
had-
yet, so.
Because we had quite a conversation on that,
Right.
because some of us were opposed to it, some of us
Right.
were.
So,
in favor of it.
so there's it's the recreation fee,
Yeah.
right? So for the
Correct.
properties, to my recollection, I don't think we have had any, deposits into that account.
We're gonna have,
So
We're about to
we're
have a whole
going
bunch
to,
of them, yeah.
That's why I'm
right,
bringing
and
it.
so, okay, so we just need to I
We
guess,
just need to clarify, we're all on the same page.
the
Yeah.
things were set up, if there was a resolution or a reason
Yeah.
or what was done.
We're all on the same page,
On
but
the
we
same
want it
page
to
as
be
we want it to be
townwide,
townwide,
so we'll- if
exactly.
it's,
Okay.
if it needs to be fixed, we'll clean it up. And try to get that cleaned up in January
They
too,
could just
before stuff
do the
gets
CM
done.
fund like everything else.
if it needs,
If
Yeah.
it needs to be,
I mean, it still is in the CM fund, it was just differentiated
Yeah.
in the revenue. Now, I don't know if
So
that
what
was just
does
for
it-
tracking
what
purposes
designates
or for
it?
spending purposes, so I don't.
Resolutions,
So there's a
An
resolution
agreement.
somewhere that.
there should be an agreement.
It maybe is set to set up the account, like I
Yeah.
said,
we did that
in,
at budget time last year.
okay,
So we just need to make sure that that's cleaned out and more reference to, that it's just townwide, but there's no reference to any specific location.
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
the rec fee from the Uptown project.
I think in the account, in this accounting software, it's just like Park and Rec form-based code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
was like 2001 instead of 2000.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody else have anything?
That's all
for
today.
the good of the
just
order?
load.
All right, then I'll let my legacy to the town be short meetings.
Well, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication and the finance committee. You've been a great leader and
Amazing to work with.
fun to work with. And I
Very
learned
happy to have
so much and I'm gonna miss being here.
So.
She's not dying.
No,
I know.
don't you guys worry, I'll still show up and ask a million
Oh.
questions.
She just needs a hug.
No, I need the time, so I
She
can
just needs a hug. She's getting all her Klimt over there.
She loves working in this building though, I don't think we're ever gonna be able to drag her back over there. You got chocolate over here. You got-
Why don't you
She's
just take that
got a-
whole box home there?
She's got a whole cadre
Next
of
week
ladies.
we'll have
working
it
here,
here.
that's great.
Also bringing in,
Oh, no, he's just like,
geez, the
what's so funny?
inches, other stuff. There'll be all kinds of food show up there.
Do we have any sort of insulin coming in?
Like,
No,
Yeah.
some of the down.
Do you want some broccoli? I can bring some
Yeah.
broccoli to counteract.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned about, where this is, who's bringing all this stuff? What did you buy, Jim?
Vendors you deal with, appreciate.
See you tomorrow.
Is our meeting adjourned?
Our meeting's
Yes,
adjourned.
it is.
So adjourned.
Thank you.
Quick
It's
question.
cool, I would get pocket candy.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah,
you
it's like,
want
here,
to-
do you want a piece of candy? You're like, yeah.
Take care, Chris. Merry Christmas.
Wait, I had a
Yes.
question.